Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be reviewing the viccabel brushes, and this is the Deluxe Pro something brush. Look, they are all very soft. It's a 20 pieces brush. So I'm starting off with this cetaphil moisturizer. I gently put it around my eye area because I need that place to be plump moisturized so that it doesn't start getting all kicky and dry and stuff. Plus I have a very dry skin, so I need hydrating products on my face. So after patting that into my face, I'm going to be using this hydrating primer from Zikel. I hardly use mattifying products because I start to look like I put sand on my face, so I use majorly hydrating products. So if you are dry, if you have a very dry skin, it's only advisable that you use all hydrating products, even your foundation. Trust me. In today's video I'm going to be using this adventure foundation. I just got it, so I'm trying to review it. So I mixed autumn with golden toffee. I already did a swatch on my face because I don't want to embarrass my village people. I'm going to do something lighter or something darker on my face, so I decided to use this viccabel NK4 brush to buff it into my skin. Because look, normally I use my beauty blender. Apparently I had already even dampened, like I already kept water on my beauty blender so I can be damp, but I remembered, oh, I'm trying to do a review for this brush. It was super soft. I feel like I'm not used to this type of soft brush for my foundation. It was like really soft. I usually use something stronger, like something more dense, but this one is like really soft. I don't know if you can notice the way it is in the video. Plus this foundation, god, look at how it's skinning, like skin, like it was spreading easily. It was fabulous. Trust me, it was just an amazing product. Like using both of them together was like great. It was a great combo because apparently I didn't even have to use so much product on my face. Like I like the fact that I usually don't need to put so much on my face because makeup makes me have headache, but this, like putting just products with total coverage, it just gives me like easy access, easy finish. So like I said, I'm used to beauty blenders and I would not be comfortable just doing my foundation with just a brush. So I'm just going to use my damp beauty sponge to just push all those products in, let it melt into my skin properly. And I'm even glowing, like I'm glowing even without putting shansha on my face. I don't know what to put without putting glue or whatever. So first of all, before I started the video, I already hydrated my lips as well because I want my lipstick to have a very nice finish. Look at that. Okay, look at the skin matching. I'm beautiful. So next I'm going to be using this adventure concealer. This concealer, first of all, if you're not the type that works fast, don't buy it. So I'm trying to put this thing to show the name, but the thing don't want to agree, so I'm moving on. I used cinnamon. This particular concealer is in the shade cinnamon and he has this yellow undertone, and I realized I feel like I'm looking so pale. Let me just brighten it up with a bit of yellow before I now put a brighter concealer on my face. So this is all the brushes. They're 20 in 1, and I kept it inside my ajogba. I'm using the viccabel NK5. It's a concealer brush. By the way, ajogba means like a basket, or basically baskets. So I put all these brushes in that basket so I can have easy access to my makeup, because like I wanted everything to be really arranged. So the reason why I said if you're using this concealer you need to work fast is because it dries out so fast. Like at some point I couldn't even blend anymore, like it was strong. And now put it, it was not a smooth blend. If you're using certain products like probably Zikel, it will still, you can still leave it there for a while. Look at it, it's not even moving. So I had to come and revive it though by adding a little more concealer, and then I eventually sprayed, but I didn't film that part because I had to get down to get the spray, so I'm going to be using my beauty blender to just damp that in. So the second concealer I used from same adventure is I think Warm Nude. I don't remember what this is, but I know I use this often as well, just to bring a little brightness to my face. Plus I know the year would, I knew that this thing dries up so fast, and I still did not like do it one by one. Normally when you're using this product, you're supposed to, when you put it under your eyes, you blend your under eye, then you proceed to now put on your forehead or wherever else you want to put it. But I still went ahead and did everything at once. Like, you don't actually put this product at once, only if you're fast, or else it will end in tears. This is already like a very mattifying concealer. It's not one of those concealers that you have to wait for it to be thicker for you to have a like a better coverage. Look at NEPA decided to show themselves. If you're in Nigeria, you can relate. They took the light and I was just vibing because in my head I'm like, it don't be, am I just going to stop this video? And like I filmed halfway, I'm not going to stop. So this is another viccabel brush. I don't remember the brush number. I can't believe I even skipped that, to be honest. But I'll figure it out and I'll write it on the screen. So when I'm blending out my contour, my nose contour, I turn the end of my beauty blender to just dab the contour and the highlights together, so it can have, I don't want it to just be one line, I need it to like blend a bit, so basically I'm trying to do my cheek contour, whatever that's called. So I'm using the viccabel brush in NK3. The brushes are numbered from 1 to 20 actually. So it's a brush that is like what do they call these brushes? Like halfway angled brush. God, it's an angled brush, but it's bigger. It's like a buffing brush, So I extended my contour to my forehead because I like that the attention should just be in the middle. I mixed a bit of Rosette and hazelnut concealer, still Adventure product. This is still the Adventure concealer. I have the old pack. I'm sure you must have seen it before, like when I showed you the distance. So this is my blush palette, Spice. It's actually a lip palette, but I use it for cream blush. So for this cheek, I got the right, like I took the right amount because I usually don't want my blush to be so pronounced and so I don't look like Mbeke. But this second one, it had more of red than the, is it pink or peach? It had more of the red than the peach, and that took me off balance. I had to start blending. This one was a softer blend. This was exactly what I wanted. But then, by the way, viccabel doesn't really have blush brush, so I had to use my beauty blender. So if you notice, this particular part is more pigmented, like it was like a whole lot, and it bothered me a lot. It gave me migraine, so I had to go back in with that foundation brush that I used earlier to just make it a little bit not so everywhere. Hope you get what I mean. So I'm going back in with that concealer, that Warm Nude concealer, because my blush already spread to places it wasn't supposed to spread to while I was blending. So I'm just trying to bring more highlights to my face and make my highlights brighter. Yeah, that's the word, brighter. I'm prettier, of course. So I also just got this beauty powder palette. Never tried it before, so I'm going to be using this NK6 brush. I'm using Sweet Honey for my under eye. So I'm blending that part for the crease. Like I don't want crease lines, so I'm blending it in first before applying it. Then after I apply it, I still blend with my damp beauty blender before going in with a no color powder. This is rcma. If you're a makeup artist, you're probably not rcma in Nigeria. So I just took a little bit of that to just seal up my under eye, so my crease line doesn't start showing, basically. So for everything I do, I always use my beauty blender to go back in. It's a damp beauty blender. So this is viccabel brush in NK3, still the same contour brush. So I'm just touching this maroon shade on that powder palette. You don't even need a whole lot of powders or a whole lot of stuff to get your makeup done. So this is NK8. I'm using the dark chocolate shade for my nose contour because I don't want to use maroon. If I use maroon, it will be too dark and I will look like Mother Gaga. So to avoid that, I always go like a shade lighter than the contour I used for my cheek. So this NK8 brush, basically all these brushes are like really soft, but you see this nose brush, it was just going like that. Just so this is the powder brush, the prettiest of the brushes that are there. So I'm going to be tapping that shade. I think that shade is chocolate, I don't remember, but yeah, it was my perfect shade. And I always like to use the excess of my powder to go over my under eye because I don't want my under eye to be looking so bright, so white. Like nobody really needs to see all of those ash. Look at everything is like well blended, smooth. Children, and when you use good brushes, you are able to actually get a very good result. And viccabel brush is like your go-to. So this is viccabel brush in NK1. I had to use it for my blush. I wanted to use another brush, like my blush brush, but I realized this brush is just going to be useless there. So why not use it for my blush, even if it's like big, and I was scared it's going to be all over the place, but I was still able to control it. So I feel like it all depends on your balance. It all depends on how you hold your brush or how you position it. So this is the brow brush, and I'm using the Beauty Line by Didi pencil. That brow brush I think is NK12 or something. But if you buy the palette, if you buy the brush, you can come back to watch my video and see the brushes and do refer back to your brush before using it if you're confused. But basically there's no confusion safe because that brush comes with a what they call it on the pack. Each brush has what it's used for on the pack, like the roots, what is used for already on it, so there can never be any confusion. Only if you don't want to use it for that particular thing and you want to use it for something else, then you can do that. But they already come with a manual, like this is what you use so brush for, so there's no confusion. So I'm just filling the strokes of my hair. I'm just filling the sparse areas, places that don't have hair, because I'm not trying to make my brows thick. So still I'm mixing this warm nude concealer with my foundation. I did not see the number of that NK whatever, but this is their concealer brush, Shasha. So I used that warm nude alone before and I realized, oh, this is dangerous. It was so white. So I had to mix it with my cinnamon concealer. I feel like cinnamon and Karachi is my favorite concealer in this adventure concealer palette. Concealer, it's not palette. Concealer bag. Those are the ones I use most of the time, but it has a lot of yellow, so I mostly always have to combine it with another one. So this is NK12. It's a buffing brush. I'm going to use it to clean out my concealed places. Get what I mean? It was actually supposed to be, like, the brush was actually soft, so I expected it to be dense because of the way we shook, like the way it was folded together, like you get like broom. But it was actually quite fluffy. It wasn't so dense. It It was actually perfect for my blending. So I used my foundation on my mixing pan. There's a leftover foundation, so I just used that to clean the top of my brows and blended it back with this amazing brush, So I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I'm doing my brows, I always make mistake with one. Like, I know the brows are supposed to be sisters and not twins, but in the process of seeking perfection, I mostly always end up ruining. Look, I'm already going into this brow that I felt like it would have been the perfect brow. This is like the brow that I'm mostly comfortable drawing or concealing rather, and I like almost ruined it. It wasn't really balanced. It was weird, weirdly looking, but I made it work. I'll always make it work. That's the motto. Make it work regardless. So I finished the eye and I still went back because I realized that I made a mistake under this brow. It wasn't smooth. So I still went back in to perfect that. I'm not sure I kept it in this video, but this particular concealer brush, I'm not sure I like it much. Probably when I continue practicing with it, I'll get to like it. The reason why I don't like it is because it's long. Like the bristle is too long compared to the younger beauty brush. Like, it's not as long. It's just the right proportion, right gauge. But this one was just unnecessarily long, and it was making me do many mistakes. Before this video, I already tried using that concealer brush and it didn't work for me. So I'm like, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to try using it again. And though it wasn't that bad, but I wasn't able to be very precise like I would really want to. So the leftover of my concealer that I'd mixed, I used it to just prep my eyelid. So I buffed that. I say buff. So I blended that in and then I applied this Clown White. I think it's Benai Clown White primer, eyeshadow primer. Oh god, I should have cropped this part. What am I doing? So I got that buffing brush again. It's a blending brush. I mostly blend my primer from the edge because I don't want it to have too much product before I reach that part. So I blend out the excess first. I blend both eyes and then I went ahead to blend the inner part. So my concealer, see, accident happened. So don't panic. Just use a tissue to clean the excess from a brush and continue. Simple as ABC. So yeah, like I said, after finishing the edges, then you blend thoroughly. So this particular eyeshadow palette, I have 3 of it. I have the brown, I have the blue, and I have the pink pack. I'm using this NK16 eyeshadow brush to do my eyeshadow. So back to that everbeauty palette. It is so underrated. Like, you need to see the pigmentation. It looked more like I was using the mauve palette. Like, the browns soft, the colors, it just stays where you want it to stay. Like, especially using this brush for it. This brush was at the same time putting products and also blending it out for me. I just didn't, that really in makeup you really need the perfect brushes if you don't want it to end in tears for you. Like, if you don't want problems with your products just standing in one place, it needs to move. Like, that's the whole point of makeup. It has to blend. So I use this zikel face definer for my, this is NK20. I used it for my transition color and not necessary. I don't think it was really necessary for transition color safe. I think it was transition color, but I used it in I used a shade that was not far from my color, because from my skin tone, because I wanted to use it to set my brow bone area as well. So it was like a 2-in-1. I was setting my brow bone and I was using it for transition as well. Now look at what that brush is doing. Look. So because I don't want my eyeshadow to crease, I have like hooded eyes. This is NK. Toh, I not see it. So this is one of the pink everbeauty palette I said I have. You guys should really not be upset. I'm going to check what NK brush this is and try to put it before uploading this, because I thought I had it all together. But it looks like it's falling apart. So I just tapped that in gently into my... This particular brush is also flat. Like, I feel like it's even too flat for an eyeshadow. It's probably best for shimmer shadows, but for a matte shadow it wasn't really perfect, but I still made it work anyway. So I realized that the main lead color was getting a bit darker than my outer V color, so I darkened it with that color that looks almost like purple or burgundy, whatever. But look at my right eye and look at my left eye, the one I'm just doing. There was a slight difference before I applied eyeshadow on it. It was like the front was darker than the back, which didn't make sense, so I had to darken it. So I'm using this Avo gel liner and the viccabel brush in NK11. It's a liner brush. This is my first time using this particular brush also. I wasn't really comfortable using it, I'll not lie, but I want to believe it's because I'm not used to this type of brush. You get, I think it has precision, and this Avo gel liner too, maybe it contributed to my liner getting round. It was not the Avo gel liner, even if it is jelly, like it looks like gel in the container, but when you take a little out of it, like as if it dries so fast and doesn't let you do the work. Can you see how I'm struggling? Like as if it had dried, and I kept applying. If you notice, I'm looking down trying to take more, but it's just drying on the way. I did the other one off camera, by the way, and the one I did off camera, so this particular eye is my easiest eye to do. So I'm going to be using this Bisham Ageless lash glue with this very pretty lash from Wink Lashes. Yeah, so for my type of eye, I realized that I need to be using just small lashes because of my hooded eyes, because of my small face. Every I don't need long lashes, so I wanted this to be perfect. So that's NK14. It's a lip brush, and I'm using this Adventure lipstick in chocolate. I keep trying to show the names of these things, even if it's not show. I never give up. I should give up. God. And then this is the Beyond Beauty, actually. I don't remember the number of that one. And this is my classic lipstick. This classic is an OG. I've had it for the longest time. Like, I always use it. I always buy, restock it. I think it's nude. I think that shade is nude. So today I decided, I always line my lips like my regular lip size. Let me just go overboard. Let me give it a little plum, or how did they call them? Let me make it a bit thicker, a bit like I did surgery. Let me do some Kylie Jenner lip. That's how my lip didn't lip. It wasn't working for me. Like, I just felt like, no, it just didn't work for me. I didn't like the fact that it was overlined. But like, people around me, people in the studio were like, oh, it's working, it's not bad. So I just went to the flow, like, okay, I will just leave it like that, because I was on the verge of cleaning it and doing my regular lip size. But I just felt like my lips are too small. I don't get to explore. So let me just explore, basically. So the brush I'm using to blend rather, is the Revolution brush. It's the viccabel. They don't have a buffing brush for the lip, so I had to use this brush because I have to blend my lipstick so it does not stand and I will not be looking like Auntie Ramota. So I blend like one by one. So see life, my village people came for me. Apparently, this old video, my village people was after me. First, the light went off. Now my eyes are tearing up, and then my lipstick was not cooperating. You know, my eyeliner went to south. It wasn't working. Like most of the things that happened on this particular day I was filming, I'm just like, you know what? I'll just carry one mind and continue and finish it up. The grace of the God of my Lord will carry me through. So I did my lashes off camera. I was not really liking what it looked like, but I'm like, I'm just going to use it like that. So I decided to spray my face with this Kiss Beauty. This Kiss Beauty is an OG. I still don't understand why so many people use it, but okay. So I used the NK7 brush. It looks like it's a flat brush. I use it to smudge my under eye, but my phone too was writing phone full, so this was all I could do. Thank you so much for watching.